Okay, so my friend Ash was asking about tracking, what do you call it? Tracking conversations, right? And so I'm going to give you an example of how I use my OpenClaw to track my conversations. Um, and I'm not going to show you how to set it up today, but this is the kind of stuff that you can learn in my school. So type conversations down below if you want to learn how to do stuff like this, and I'll send you a link to my school so you can get in there and start learning about it. But today I just wanted to answer Etch's question of how do you track conversations, how can you track conversations, and this is just an example. And you can do even more stuff than this, but this is just like a simple example. So for instance, I said, can you record that chat conversation I had with Michael and attach it to him? And I gave the LinkedIn thread, right? Because it needs to know where that is in the first place. And so it captured it and it linked it onto him and even gave me follow-up actions, right? I'm not going to go in there because that's his conversation. But just so you know, it scraped all that information that's in there. And she logged it as today, like when we're working on this. So we know exactly when everything has been done. That's why we're time stamping everything. So then there's another one on LinkedIn, right? Got it, pulled it in, attached it to him. And then I didn't know whether she could actually do Twitter chats as well, but she actually does. And what we're using when we're doing this, by the way, is just this little guy, the web relay, right? So yeah, if you've got the web relay, she can actually go in there into these, the encrypted chats, which is kind of cool. So, so this is the other thing too, is that you can say, for instance, text access now, access worked. So that was another one that we did. And now we're going to catch Monica, right? And also, the thing is, because it's intelligent, you can say, hey, I only want from today down, because that has to do with this particular conversation. So I said, okay, with this conversation, record it from today down. I'm not sure if Monica's in people yet. If not, please put her there. So watch, I'm just going to copy that. And so, in other words, what I'm trying to show you here is it doesn't matter whether you're in LinkedIn, whether you're in Instagram, X, or wherever you are, as long as you can get a hold of the URL and you've got your web relay on, then your OpenClaw will have access to that. So let's put this in here, and there's nothing private in here, so we're just going to pop that in there. And then when she's done, we're going to go and have a look at what she did. And I'm also going to do something else that shows you one of the things that you can do, and also how I track these things. And just for like back information, we have our people object in our Obsidian database, and we also have a conversation object inside of our Obsidian database, and that is attached to people. So on it, a capture, okay, from today downward. Okay, so now Monica, Ka got back to me about Monica, and she was not in people yet. And so it created Monica, and it created the thread, right? So let's actually go and, no, it includes her latest I do. Okay, that's cool. So let's actually go in here, and we are going to go into conversations. That's in my bookmarks, right? And it shows you the actual, conversations, right? And so we have this open here, recorded. She asked, have you registered for Billions? And then it actually gave me an idea. So what I need to do now, and this is what I wanted to show you, so it gave me, follow-up ideas. But then I already have an idea here, and because I have task notes installed, it makes it really easy. So register for Billions. Okay, register for Billions. I was reading the other stuff. Squirrel. So now I can turn that into an actual task, right? And if I double click on it, there we go. And I can go, I want to do that probably tomorrow, not today, because it's important, but it's not that important, right? And so our area here, this is a production item. Production. There we go. Production, this priority is probably like a 5, right? And this goes to my make money while I sleep goal, right? And this also has to do with Obsidian Claw, school community, okay? And I'll show you why I put all of those things in there in just a second. So I'm just going to hit save, and that is now going to be pending, and I'm going to change that to planning. Okay, so there's a couple of things this does for me, right? So it attaches it to that thread, reminds me that I have to do that, right? So when I go that, I'm obviously going to go back to here and have a look at what was going on. But again, let's have a look at our, not our today's task, actually. And so now, when I come to my future tasks, I can see there's that register for Billions. And it has its impact rank of how important it actually is, because I've connected it up to those higher level objects, okay? So, yeah, we have that. And now what I want to do, now that we have all of that set up, is can we now add conversations to our social media heartbeat, and have it watch all of the conversations that are still open, that are still active, I think is what we called it. Yes, I've just added it. So now, right, so it runs after each social window, track all active conversations, okay? Check latest messages on LinkedIn and X, update the conversation and the person notes, draft follow-ups only, never auto-send, close the conversations when they're complete. Hang on, how did I call that? Let's just make sure that we're using the right language. Active or closed. Whoops. Got to release that filter there. Closed. Okay, so it is that. It's closed. When convo status is closed, then it is. Here you could decide, do we want her to auto close them, And maybe here's what we do, is the right way to say that. If a conversation has not moved forward in 72 hours, nudge me. Okay? That way, changes made. Closed state is now canonically closed only. Any conversation with number one now triggers you. Summary log now tracks. Updated, waiting, nudged, closed. No need to watch closed. Yeah, because we don't want them open up endlessly. Of course, this is your OpenClaw. You can do whatever you like. Okay. Is not closed. Yes! Woohoo! Okay, cool. Cool. So now let's actually fix our filter here. Our filter is convo status. Does not contain closed. Okay, cool. And what did she had other ones. Updated, waiting, nudged, closed. Okay, so that's actually nice. What qualifies as updated? New message captured. Okay, waiting. Okay. And I use active. I have been using active. But maybe you need to modify the conversations in there now. Wow. You see, so this is a beautiful thing. Like, I would have just tracked active, right? So this is really helpful. Like, we can actually, yes, exactly. Let's normalize it. Oh, that's wonderful. See, it is just so wonderful working with an intelligent thing like this, because it makes it better than you had even decided you were going to make it, right? So it helps me understand who I should actually reach out to, right? So it's already clean. Already have convo status. None are missing yet. In no bulk edit. Keep using active as the open state and closed when done. What about the, but I liked the, wait. But I liked updated. I liked waiting and nudged. See, sometimes you have to go back and forth until you finally figure out what you really want. Active or close. Heartbeat counts. Updated, waiting, nudged. So your flow language stays waiting plus nudged when the data model stays cleaned. Okay, so in other words, that's what the social media is going to tell me. Nudged. And so it's easy. It's just active and open. Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Love it. There we go, right? Just from one little idea.